Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, here back with some more Ace Attorney! And we are... fucking... Oh wait, did I just curse in the first 15 seconds? Dang it. Alright, well... if I was monetized, that would be a problem. Either way, we are finally getting down to what is actually happening here. And it's not easy. But we're figuring it out. Lana, tell us in your weirdly Australian and or Cockney accent, whichever really it sounds like I'm doing, because I honestly can't tell at this point. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. And that's when it hit me. That's when it hit me. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So, you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What's this person's name? Well, clearly she's scared of Mike Meekins. Or, no, it's gotta be Dick Gumshoe, who is 30. I don't know how old I thought he was, but goddamn, 30 was not it. This guy, I would have put this guy for old, like, maybe late 20s. This guy, I could see him being 36. This man is 22. I could see that. Damon Gant, 65. Yeah. 29. 16, believable. I would like her and Maya to meet at some point if that hasn't happened yet already. I think they're both kind of fun characters. She's 31. Right, Damon Gant. Well, Miss Sky? Well, Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, you're addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? Damon Gant. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was... me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, but also one other. Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Didn't we get half from his desk? I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This jar piece in this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you talking... Why are you taking all the blame from him? Yeah, sure, that's a word. Why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. That's French for touché. It's as you surmised. It's as you've surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, following orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Orders being... Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I needed to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. You were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. A murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? I ask again in a different question. It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I did never want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about... Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. At least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off and didn't... He went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. His big, meaty cowboy hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He'd already stolen the ID card. It seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. Real question is, how did the body get into the car? Like, did Edgeworth just loan out his car that day and think like, oh, well, I'm sure Chief Gant won't do anything with it, and then Chief Gant was like, ooh, a murder, yeah, baby. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. Finally getting to the bottom of this stuff, guys. Finally. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But, Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright. Both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lena's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Also, that knight is wearing the same muffler she is. Scarf or whatever. I mean... yeah, sure, why not? I think. Okay. February 25th, but that's today. If today was 6 days ago. That's funny. Really gonna date this episode. That joke. Alright. This is the defendant lobby, alright. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if... something's been happening behind the scenes. Oh, it's Edgeworth, okay. Something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here. To hear what you have to say. That's why I came here. To hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something. And the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. Truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? I like how sometimes they give, like, the text popping up in the box at a different pace. It really kind of helps with the, delivery of the lines, I think. And this is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. If I'm ever gonna find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. My delivery, on the other hand, is terrible. February 26th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. I wonder if there's ever a courtroom in the Phoenix Wright series that has never actually hosted a trial for, you know, Phoenix. Or any of the other lawyers, for that matter. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lena Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. Ah, he apparated! He just faded in. Motherfucker is an Adobe Premiere effect. Premiere Pro. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Edgy. Went back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my own... I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel like she should be granted the request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Bullshit, I know what's about to happen here. At least I feel like I do. What's this all about, defendant? What's this all about, defendant? Oh, wait, what? I accidentally skipped what she said. Hold on. Nope, wrong button. I know there was a button to... Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like to ask you to put... Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. What? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. No one ever requires his services, they just get them, you know? But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. There it is. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, huh? Ooh, he's doing the finger thing. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, huh? Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. It would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gad? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Firewall, welcome to the stream.
Taco Bell? Why would you mention Taco... Wait, Taco Bell was founded in 1962. That was the same year that Marilyn Monroe died. She had 13 letters in her name. Her name makes 2 words, making 15. Her third film came out March 15th, named Beware the Ides of March. The Roman praised their own gods of death, Mors, but why him? Mors is the god of death and causality. Causality is Spanish and is Baja. The Baja Blast. Yeah, I'm up for a drink.
Welcome to the stream, Firewall. How you doing?
No.
Please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun.
It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
I've been arrow, I see you got to recharge your battery. Yeah, I'm a little more energetic today. A little more on the ball, a little more charged. Got some electrolytes, pulled them out of someone's spine. He'll recover, probably. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure on that one. Either way, I'm good. Alright.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. How you doing, though, Firewall? Sleeping all right? Watching this stream all right? Yeah. Either way, Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. Do I have any evidence that directly contradicts any of this? I'm pretty sure I don't. But... Let's see. Let me just press run this. By the way, the entire copy pasta was from a Death Note shit post. Oh, I like the copy pasta. It's funny. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under the. She was second in command under the. All right. She was second in command under the. She was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. Under then Deputy of Police of Chief of Gant. Oh, good to see you've been alright, Firewall. Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was one of the best detectives ever. My sister, she was one of the best detectives ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held the ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on that day of that ceremony. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. How could you forget about Gant? The whole point is about... Alright, never mind. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in? I don't clearly remember what happened then. But yep. You'll never forget what you saw in that instant, but you just said. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out. Lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of a scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then.
A detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman. Victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. That's what's so scary about this trial.
So Joe Dark was the storm that was approaching. Not only approaching, he was there. He was provoking those clouds in isolation. He's also the claimer of his name. I am the claimer of my name. Born in flames, I have been blessed. My family crest is a demon of death. Forsaken, I have awoken. Da 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 da. Something is misery. And CPR Reese's Puffs. Anyway. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? This is the next attorney. The correct answer is never to stop. Picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems it's been lost. I feel like I saw that at some point. Oh, right, here it is. Okay. I am a smart mandroid. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, he would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. Hey, I'm not the bad guy. I am cutting Gumshoe's salary, but disregard that. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SO9 incident? Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. What is this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. That's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Mead? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. Someone really likes tearing paper. Or they were trying to fold a paper airplane, but it broke. To hide their shame, they tore it in half. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in that case ever reached you. Dark didn't know this. Dark didn't know the season or what is the reason he's standing there holding his blade. Wait, no, I need to go from the beginning or I don't know the rest of the song. Memories broken, the truth goes unspoken, I've even forgotten my name. I don't know the season or what is the reason I'm standing here holding my blade. A desolate place, place without any trace, it's only the cold wind I feel. It's me that I spied as I stand up and fight. The only thing I know for real, there will be blood, blood, shed. The man in the mirror nods his head. The only one left, right upon the dragon's back. Because the mountains don't give back what they take. Oh no, there will be blood, blood, shed. It's the only thing I've ever known. And back to this, alright. Only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? I just noticed that Emma has some really nice boots. This is like the red sort of, red goes with it, you know? With the lab coat and the rest of her outfit, I like it. Her shoes are cool. Order! Order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes were bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's... Mr. Wright, how could you? Metal Gear is a Konami IP. You know, I would actually kind of dig Capcom doing a Metal Gear game. I know it would never happen, but like... I feel like they've got enough people there who know what they're doing to be able to make something pretty solid out of it. Like, especially if they just made, like, some kind of Metal Gear Rising 2, but with, like, DMC kind of controls. That would slap. Not sure what the story would be. Probably wouldn't be as good as Metal Gear Rising 1, but, you know, I'm sure it'd be great. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Well, what the fuck is it? Because I see nothing. It's that thing. Oh my god, Sonic was the killer the whole time. Can't escape manslaughter charges. Can't outrun him. Wow, that's interesting, but I sure don't care. It's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Phoenix's eyes were bulging like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that one movie about Mars whose name escaped me. Oh, Total Recall. Yeah, the thing where he gets, like, sucked out of, like, Mars's air or whatever. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record. Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Let's see if I can figure it out. Hold on. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Let's see, can I figure anything out from this? Could it be the vase? Then? Because that kind of looks like the shape of the vase. Almost. The flash of lightning was so bright it could... The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that I must have fainted. This is me passing you the L, Faker. Amy wouldn't mind. Yeah.
This is me passing you the L, Faker. Amy wouldn't mind.
This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. If you rotate the blue badge symbol 180 degrees, it creates the following sequence. 1137. Oh, fucking... Oh, that's... That is still one of the more interesting Danganronpa bits. I just find that little thing right there, the 11,037 thing, I find that so interesting because that case was probably way harder in Japanese than it was in English. Or maybe it was really easy both ways, but like, I just find the idea funny that somehow in Japan it was like, oh man, this trial's pretty hard. I don't know what that says upside down. But immediately upon seeing that in the first game, I was like, oh, that's totally what that is. I'm not going to say what it is for those who are not looking to be spoiled in Danganronpa, but like, that's exactly what that is. No one's going to pretend like that's not that way. Honestly, if I will play Danganronpa at some point in this channel. When I get to that part, I'm just going to have to hold myself back from saying what the very obvious twist is, because, let's be real here, we all went into the first trial knowing exactly who the killer was. We all knew. Everyone knew. Unless you didn't speak English, at which point... Or read English, I should say, but... Whatever. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about the murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. Does it? It's two blank figures. With that one with a knife and the other not with one. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. 1137 clue was identical in the JP version too. When I found out, I got curious and asked around. Not even the Japanese had that much trouble understanding the clue. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's just a case of like... They wanted to make the first trial in the series kind of like... easy enough to understand. Because considering how complex some of the later trials in... like Danganronpa are, it's like... I don't think... I don't remember the name of the creator of it right now, but either way, I don't think they would have made that under the idea of like... Oh, well, this will be a very hard trial. It'll be really hard to figure this one out. But either way, yeah, Danganronpa is a fantastic series. I think I'll talk more about that when I get closer to actually, like, playing them again. But I do find them to be a lot of fun. Honestly, they were just... I think the tone fit them pretty well. They were wacky, they were serious at times. I liked it. I'm also looking forward to playing Enigma Raincode when that comes out later this year. That's that one that's made by the Danganronpa people, and it's like... it looks and sounds like it's made by the Danganronpa people. Especially how English is secondary language taught to all Japanese students. I mean, I've heard of stuff like that happening. Yeah, wow, that makes a lot more sense. I guess it was just meant to be an easy trial. That's gotta be it. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gaunt and Lena Sky. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But could you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see was shadows. The problem with running faster than light is that you're always trapped in shadows. But yeah, Enigma Raincoat looks pretty cool. I want to play that later. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who would come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him directly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Doc had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. Better watch out or we might find some way to cut my salary. I love how the judge is puzzled that the image is in black and white, like he was expecting a fully colored image or something. Hey, maybe he just had a higher regard for Emma's artistic abilities, you know? Maybe he figured something out. Maybe he thought he was going colorblind, but like for all colors. I drew this picture before I had anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well, that's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet it's clearly a contradiction here. Trying to think, what What could I do to show here? My heart. I fucking hate that meme, by the way. The thing where it's like, my heart. I loved her. Or whatever that is. For some reason, I hate that. Oh my god. Oh, alright, let's check this. Alright, nothing here. I feel like there's something about it that I'm missing. Nope, I fucked up. Your Honor. Yep, okay, Don't you objection us, Edgeworth? Don't you objection us, Edgeworth? You know how eyewitnesses can very easily be influenced and think they saw something that wasn't even there? Not in the Phoenix Wright universe, they can't. Not in the land of Japanifornia. They are infallible there. Emma still drew a better body than anything I've ever made. I would say, a good way to practice stuff like that in general, just use, like, shading and don't try to worry about the line art at first. That's not how I learned, but I've heard some people can learn that way, where they just go for, like, coloring in a solid shape and just going from there to figure out how it looks. You know? Parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Trying to think. What else would work? Screwdriver. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Well, that didn't do it. I don't think that's gonna do it. Oh, here we go. Stabbed in the back. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? 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 But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? I think it's this part here. I don't see what's so strange about that. That's because the drawing stinks. Ow, Phoenix. God damn. I think we found the murderer, and it might be Phoenix. The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty. Dude. You've literally done that, kind of. I guess he means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. Yes, well, so long as the defense has learned his lesson. Better take another look at that autopsy report and the picture. Okay. Oh, wait, bullshit. It's about... Hold on. Hold the fucking phone is what's right here. One loss on a weapon found was missing tip, single stab wound, piercing heart, lung. Yeah, but it was from the back. Oh, yeah, back to this. Fine. Don't worry, I saved this time. I mean, I don't really know what else to show that it was facing forward. Maybe him? Wait, what about their face? God damn it! I already kind of got it right. God damn it. You know what, I should probably just, for safety's sake... Fucking, I don't know. This... Fucking hell. I don't think there's a true... no, I will say, yeah, there's no true way to learn how to draw other than, you know, you practice. It's about learning the way that you learn. God damn it. Can I not just go back from here? Good thing I fucking saved. Man, I don't even know what they want me to say. Honestly, I might have to look this up at some point. What? That was it? Bullshit! The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. That... motherfucker. You are guilty, Arrow, for being too epic. May you learn your lesson in the Matrix. Aw, thanks. Did I just get sucked into the Matrix? Mr. Arrowhead. And like a guy in sunglasses comes up to me and tries to kill me. Put a spider, or not a spider, like a worm into my stomach that's made of metal. But I'm made of metal, so it doesn't really work. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dock was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder should not yet be broken. Then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Phoenix has no concept of artistic interpretations. Yeah. There's only room for facts and logic in Phoenix's life. Then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does that mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. I remember you being annoyed. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. There's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Unless... Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There's another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? You are treading on some mighty thin ice, right? Which is a line that they only kind of had in the Last of Us anime, quote-unquote, the TV show. Anime. That was the dumbest... I am bad at remembering things, clearly. And saying things. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. And not a single cop stopped him. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story is a lie. Plenty of them, in fact. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife, and we know exactly where it is already, basically. Phoenix Wright, I feel like, is one of those games where you know more or less, what you need to do, but you don't know, or like, how to do it, right? So you checked yesterday's stream just to make sure you actually said The Last of Us anime and made sure we were gaslighting you? Dude, I would have no reason to think you were trying to gaslight me. Clearly I messed up somewhere in there. I didn't even need to check. I just trust you guys. For now. What are the chances of there being two broken... What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There is another one. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's no other way. There's no other way. The real murder weapon. Oh, I can't save. Oh, that's a problem. Fuck. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Mr. Wright, please get to it. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. This is a picture of the award ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's kill. Was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order! 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 Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given the broken shield and knife. Wasn't it more of a spear tip? But it doesn't matter. For the public, it's easier to call it a knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out his knife. He pulled out this knife. Being a respectable prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken hand knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous... This broken hand knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. That can't be. Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean... This man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. I love how this entire change of events was based on nothing more than Emma's drawing of a blunt knife. Dude like Emma drew a rectangular to present the knife, that's it. Exactly. That's true. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness? Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What? You drew that?
That's right. This wasn't torn in half. At the time, I drew this picture. All this time, I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger?
This should be interesting.
Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. It wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual.
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't exist. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further! Lana,
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
but you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
Yeah, the blue badger. Let's press her on this.
Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous... It was the chief of detectives who brought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling in me that I'd seen him somewhere before. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when he thought the things had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
I need to stretch a lot for some reason. My synthetic muscle fibers.
Lana, sit down. By the way, you single?
I love how this entire chain of events is based on nothing more than Emma's drawing of a blunt knife. Dude's like... Oh yeah. I already read that comment. Never mind.
Oh, I am slightly out of it. I can power through for a little bit though. All right. Where in the room did you see him dancing? His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when lightning flashed? I just might know. Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, is the defense's belief that on the fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something like that is now sitting in this very room. Something like that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright! Oh man, I'm getting tired. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious Blue Badger look-alike. Let's try this. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? Come on, dude, you were alive when that was a thing. Oh, so are most people, but... Do robots need to stretch? You know, muscle fibers and, metal bones. It's Shadow the Hedgehog, he did. He must... and Mario. Hard agree there, man. I believe it's some sort of jar. Possibly meant for figurines. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint then? Our viewpoint? I think we're good. This isn't right. We've got to make it look more like the Badger. Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim. I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more. horizontally? You'll decide you can just save and call it for today if you want. No, I'm gonna do at least this last little bit right here. Just to take a look at this from. No, not quite that. Oh, there it is. Really ballparking it, but bullshit, that's close. That was close. Alright, I'm starting to get a second win here. I think that counts. Bullshit! Good thing they gave me unlimited retries on this, because man, I'm just... I'm unlocking on Mega Mold mode. Does this work? Okay! Alright! Yeah, people hate this part of the game. I get it. Well, is this a miracle or what? I'm just imagining, man. Like, what were they thinking at, like, Shinji Mikami? Man, that's... I guess they just operated on another level there at Capcom, you know? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. It was a jar! No. It can't be! It can't be! It can't be! Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Objection, Your Honor, this is so stupid. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The No, wait. Location. Must admit, of all the people I've seen over the years playing this puzzle, you solved it the fastest, maybe because you're a robot. Yeah, totally, yeah, sure. It could be the location. I don't think it changes who the killer is, necessarily. But it might. Yeah, blood traces, but whose blood? That's the question. The dark red stains must be traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has some lines remaining on it. Can I test them? Well, just gonna Location. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. There was a figurine inside of it. Wait, was that Edgeworth talking? At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Ganth. But the body was found lying near Lena Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lena Sky's office. Or Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Ganth's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Ganth's office to Lena Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? No. Finally figured it out. So this is why Lena tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Mauricio, I can't move it. Mauricio, I can't move it anymore. I saw that too. That's funny. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking... Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have to have... Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Hope my neighbors were okay with that one. And she fainted. Yikes. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. I think we can chalk that up to an accident, though, right? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you have to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? That was actually a good King Julian impression. Oh, thanks. To be fair, it was that Bloodborne-looking armor that killed him. That is true. It was the Bloodborne armor to blame. Honestly, I'm willing to bet that there's going to be a twist where Chief Gant was in the armor, so technically Chief Gant killed him, and then he's the murderer or whatever. Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Yeah, after all, it was self-defense, but does that also cover for the fact that Emma still killed a man even by accident? I would say this could kind of be passed off as like accidental manslaughter, but like, I'm not sure if Emma should get time for that, you know? Like, that was a pretty rough situation. I mean, it didn't even mean her any harm. Yeah, Anne tried to save her, which is pretty fucked up. You know, it's an accident. That's what we can say about that. Given the circumstances, how... Like, she's definitely responsible for him dying, but how at fault is she, is the question, you know? Touché, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left for you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. Let me check this. Maybe that could say, like, the M in Emma, but... I don't know, that's kinda betting a lot on my last life here. Nah, I'll just save. Hold on. I really ought to just be doing this from the beginning, really. It's fucking somewhere. Wait, could it be on the trophy, perhaps? Nope, nowhere does it say Emma inscribed in blood. Also, he was impaled on that thing. Why would he... let's... Alright, how about this one? Maybe it's inside the glove? Nope. Alright. Sure, it's in the evidence. That's probably the most obvious answer. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence. Involuntary manslaughter is usually treated as a felony at both the federal and state level. This means it can be punished by at least 12 months imprisonment and fines and probation, among others. Yeah, I guess that would be a real problem, wouldn't it? This doesn't have it, right? It's not this. Clear handprint can be seen in the leather cloth. The print belongs to Emma. I think I'll keep this information to myself. Let's try this one. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he just going to speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. But that's only for adults. I don't know for kids. Maybe she needs to pay some fines, maybe a couple months in juvie. It's a rough situation, to be sure. Also, that was when she was 14, so like... That's even younger than 16, so... There's a lot of play here. Criminal law. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood in this jar. Looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes. Yes, there is a line here, just drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. The blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. All we need to do is connect these points and the victim's message will become apparent. No. No. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim could have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Well, this is kind of a cool little feature. Oh man, this is just tragic though. I did not want her to be the killer. I liked Emma. It's the defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. If you connect the dots, it spells out Kojima Kami nan desu. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. And she tried to cover up that fact, which basically makes it conspiracy. It's not conspiracy if there are multiple people, right? Unless there are multiple people. I don't know. She definitely tried to obscure justice, though, which is... I'm pretty sure that's a crime in Japanifornia. I'm not entirely sure. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Okay. He's not that innocent. He still tried to kill everybody. Not only that, but he used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. I beg to differ. I insanely beg to differ. Oh, well, you know, he may have been a serial killer, but he wasn't responsible for that particular murder, so it's fine. So it's not fine. It's like, motherfucker, it's okay. At that point, it's fine. I mean, you know, it could have happened to a better person. Didn't you know? We are defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Okay, that I kind of agree with. You are, you know, sending someone to die. It's... Regardless of circumstances, you should take responsibility for that, I do feel like. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to death. How could you say that it wasn't his fault? Okay, they're acting like he didn't actually just go kill like 7 or 8 other people and then confess to it. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued. Down, 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 down. Sure. Do I want to keep going here? This feels like a good stopping point, but I also do want to continue this trial, but I also don't know how long it's going to be, so... I'll go a little bit longer. Alright. February 25th, 12:06. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. I guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? What is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Like at Joe Dark's funeral, yeah. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give you this if there was a break in today's trial. Fucking oof. Evidence law for dummies, or whatever. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without approval No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law. Really? The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Him? Guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Nice. Secure this up in the pocket. 3 full pages of evidence. Let's check this. No evidence shall be shown without approval of the No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Huh. That's it? That's all we got? Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth! The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all ruined, but with... Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. And Sky found out she was unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. Which means the real crime is defamation of a corpse. Or deformation of a... She stabbed a corpse. That means the real killer is still... That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. If this really is the end of the trial, then like... Yeah, absolutely gotta stick this out. This is a big-ass trial. February 25th, 12:52 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. I always forget how small this courtroom is when they're just standing there staring at each other. Standing here, I'm standing here. When we're both here, we are both standing here. Standing here, I'm standing here. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lena Sky. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well... Normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and, Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. I recommended the Japanese KFC commercial about Goku eating drumsticks. I can't even... Oh, that sounds fantastic. I need to look that up. Then it's settled. YouTube just kind of knows sometimes, you know? Like, just, on occasion, they'll just whip out a video that, like, you laugh your ass off at, and it's amazing. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... It's finally come to bring out the real murderer. If I have to bring out the real murderer, then... Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. I feel like Goku wouldn't even like junk food, and he doesn't like beer. I mean, I could see him eating chicken, just because, you know, chicken, you could at least make the argument like, okay, it's got protein in it, that might count. But yeah, he usually eats pretty balanced meals. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. I think if they ever made like a live-action, like American version of Phoenix Wright, I want the judge to be played by Bryan Cranston. Just so that it's like the joke with him being Your Honor and all that. You know, like he was the judge in the other thing. Plus, I feel like he could pull off the look. And the character, honestly. He's pretty good at comedy stuff. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch, where I was gonna go swimming. Yeah, swimming. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy? Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. I want Jack Black as Salmonella. Oh, that would be fucking perfect. They say there are no perfect casts in history, but man, I need to see that. We have to make it happen now. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Well, please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto! What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Well, personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave, or very foolish. You're aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. Phoenix should be played by Chris Pratt. I don't agree with that. Could you imagine? Also want David Hayter to play Yanni Yogi, so when he comes clean up a killing Robert Hammond, he can do solid Snake voice. Hey, Polly. Be sure to run up the pasta shop. That actually would be kind of... I'd like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I could see that. What is the most New Yorker actor I can think of? Trying to think. Who has a really heavy New York accent? I want to say Joe Pesci, but I'm not sure if it's New York. It's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to pin down. Off top, I feel like there was one off the top of my head I could use, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Who would play Gumshoe? Who would play Gumshoe? Hey, pal. 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 True. Who could we get to play Gumshoe? There's an answer for this. There has to be an answer. I'll think of it later. Fine, I'll think of it later. We have to move this on. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. Our power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you could see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Joe Pesci's from New Jersey. Yeah, okay, that's kind of what I thought. Also, he looks a little too old to be Gumshoe. Trying to think, maybe someone from like SNL, because they do a lot of stuff in New York. But I don't know who it would be, and also who would look like Gumshoe. And granted, it's not entirely hard to find someone to do like a New York accent. But, I mean, if we were okay with a Boston accent, Bill Burr would be pretty funny. Bill Burr is hilarious. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. The SL9 incident. Okay, that follows what I know. That power... Yeah, see, that's the thing I'm curious about. How did they just let him out of the room? So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I had the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. I think the fact that he's even making jokes about that shows this guy's kind of fucked up. It's not funny. When I went to my office, found Lana there. Who would be a good cast for that, though? I'm still thinking. Imagine the Rush Hour movies with Lana and Gaunt. Or Lana and Gaunt. That could be funny. Yeah. And it's just like, I guess Lana at that point would be... I don't know. I'm not sure which of the two they would be. Maybe they would just alternate being the Chris Tucker one. Rush Hour movies on Netflix now, that's pretty sweet. I still need to watch all those. I've seen a lot of clips, but like... I feel like I would love those movies. Could you tell us about what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls. Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently, she'd already arranged the crime scene. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived in your office? That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a bodyguard and hiding evidence is inexcusable no matter what circumstances.
You should definitely check out the Rush Hour movies if you think they're fantastic, especially the bloopers. Oh, I intend to. That sounds lovely. Just because, like, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, I've seen a lot of the clips, they just have really good chemistry, I think. They seem very funny on screen together. Is that how it really went down?
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Let's see.
It does beg the question, though, what this is. Wait a minute. Why was this found in his desk if he didn't arrange anything?
Worthy, always the smooth talker.
But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lena did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. There we go! Smart head! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example.
That's the list Emma Sky drew a picture on.
This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant? These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you played a part in the Yeah, from what I understand, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan became really good friends because these movies brought them together. Yeah, I love stuff like that, where, like, you know, two people come together because they had, like, a role in a movie, then they're just friends in real life. Seems really nice. Are both concrete proof that you played a part in the illegal investigation.
Oh, there it is. Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery?
Oh, me? What do you mean, you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know? Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto?
People seem to want Jonah Hill's live-action Gumshoe. I could kind of see that, but I feel like Gumshoe should look a little more gruff, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I feel like there are some people that look exactly like Gumshoe, but like, I don't know. Maybe if I was gonna say someone to look like Gumshoe, maybe Mark Wahlberg, but then that's kind of a weird cast because I don't think he'd really fit it. But like, maybe, I don't know. I think we'd have to do someone with comedic chops, and at that point, Jonah Hill would work. But like, I don't know. That is a legitimate question. Anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Elden Ring DLC got announced. I'm looking forward to that. That sounds amazing. Did I not mention that yesterday? Because I should have mentioned that yesterday. That was fantastic.
Isn't that right, Righto?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
You're gonna punish that Dick, aren't you? What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying the work. Oh, J.K. Simmons is the judge. That could be really funny.
Yeah, or J.K. Simmons as Damon Gant, because then he could really nail the whole, like, serious and jovial tone thing. But J.K. Simmons as the judge would be pretty funny, because, yeah, no, I could see that working. That would be really good. If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Or you can just give Jack Black the goal of Gumshoe as well. That could work. Yeah, no, I could see that working. Or have it be like The Rock. Yeah, no, you're right, he's better. Jack Black wins. I've seen a guy that wanted John Cena as Will Powers. That could be pretty funny. Or like maybe Danny DeVito. Just for added comedy of just him kind of looking like Wolverine or Sabretooth. Because remember, there was that whole thing where, well, did Stan Lee want Danny DeVito to be Wolverine? Or is that just a myth? Because I saw the poster for that, but I don't know if that was real. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, or Hugh Jackman, that'd be kind of funny. Please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office. And their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. How did they get in your office, Gant? Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after the Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You don't understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh, indeed. I believe I'll press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is... well, you know... Alright, Archie. In return, though... I know. That place, right? Are these two a couple? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? Let's be honest, if Danny DeVito was buff, he would make a perfect Wolverine. Yeah, no, I agree with that. He'd be fun. He'd be a cool one. I'm the best at what I do, Bob. What I do isn't very nice. Also, we just talk about how Wolverine is cool enough to just call people bub and have no one question that? Because I've never heard anyone else use that term. And he's just cool enough to invent it and get away with it. Wolverine is awesome. Yeah. Gary Oldman work as Von Karma? Oh, he'd be pretty cool. Or J.K. Simmons. So that way it nails the whole, like, angry, kind of like... angry guy who's got a very forceful sort of tone and voice. Judge, are you dragging? Or are you speeding? Are you rushing or are you dragging? Which is it? I don't know. Are you rushing or dragging? Objection. Bullshit. I actually kind of want J.K. Simmons as Von Karma now, to be honest. For all I know, you could plant them in my office. That is true technically, but... fingerprints? Oh, he's wearing gloves. Shit. Can't prove when they were discovered. Can I? No, I cannot. Unless, maybe... Anyway, Bub, I started blasting. Hey, Bub, would you care for an egg in these trying times? Hey, Bob, would you care for an egg in these trying times? Evidence for something. Yeah, we can't play this one yet. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery...
I'm not through speaking yet, Rido. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless.
Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigations?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, Rido. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery.
Actually, it's kind of true. I don't know why he would. How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I'd care for the word murder here.
Yeah, Judge is on our side. I like the Judge.
But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see?
Wouldn't help him out in any way. Would it? I can't think of any reason why it would, but... Some of this isn't really useful anymore. Anything in this that would... I know, I can't think of anything. Alright, for now, we'll put a pin in that. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there was one large benefit you reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police.
Oh,
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Be careful when pointing that finger. Or you might end up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Oh, gee, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do.
It's true, I do kind of believe that, but... I feel like there's something else at play here. Something unknown. There's gotta be something else that revolves around this. What would... What would he gain from this?
I agree with that, but... Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
Brain blast. Yeah. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's who I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Ho, 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 ho. That's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Even his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Okay. Clearly the right answer is to point out the accomplice, right? So in that case... Oh. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. He said that he was in line for becoming chief of police, didn't he? He did. Which means the other one, who it might have been...
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Scat may have helped forge evidence?
The only one I can think of.
Righto, my boy. The look on your face. It's almost enough to motivate even me to help you out.
What?
I hope you understand that's not a compliment.
Chief Gant would have wanted something in return. He must have been able to... He must have wanted to be able to blackmail the... Okay, so it's Lana. It's Lana. Which, okay, so he blackmailed her into being a prosecutor, so that way he was definitely next in line to be chief. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. He had an accomplice. Okay.
Chief Prosecutor Lena Sky, the defendant?
That was my second guess. I thought he might have killed, fucking detective guy who got murdered, whose name I forgot. Because he got, like, too close to whatever. But... Or, like, because he got, like, too greedy with his demands for being an accomplice. But... Trying to think. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events, as did Neil Marshall. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have to have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed to Chief Prosecutor's office. Lana Skye was appointed the Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
Yes. That's what we're saying.
Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lena Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief. Your motive to appoint her as chief. To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana... She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... Edgeworth with the unless, they're called action figures, Your Honor. No, I'll admit it, they're puppets. My mouth is not moving that much. Okay. That is also what happened in this incident. This incident, which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. Wouldn't want you to get hurt by biting your tongue. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but Chief Gant is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Whoa! Oh! Ah! Order! 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 I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious! Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency! To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That is impossible! Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. I'll throw him under the bus, why don't you? It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Could you prove this, Mr. Wright? The chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved with this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence would tell. I see. You're at the final stretch, about one more hour and I'm done. Can I do another hour? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright then, let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I have none. I have none of it. This doesn't necessarily tie him to Damon Gant, though. Attorney's badge, no. Not that. Ties him to the murder, though. I don't... Do I have anything? Maybe... How about the ID card record? This is... Oh, okay, good. Alright. This is the ID card list. And this is conclusive evidence I've been telling you about, Your Honor. If I had any. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number.
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777777. 7. I think I missed one there. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Order! Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. Wait, what? What? But right now, this court demands an explanation from you. About the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm the chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or at the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I haven't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Edgeworth's whip is called Justice. Oh, really? Oh, wait, you mean Von Karma's whip, or like Francesca's whip, or does Edgeworth have a different whip? And if so, then that makes sense.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lena Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet with Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
Nope. But this was on his desk. I'm pretty sure it's because he was responsible for transferring the evidence, but... I'm gonna go with this. No, there's gotta be something more solid than this. On that day, Detective Goodman had to go see Chief Gant.
Sorry to interrupt your mumblings, but the court is waiting.
Ow. Alright.
Oops. Why don't you come meet with me tomorrow? So you can write up your letter of termination.
Regardless, you did see Detective Goodman that day. Alright. In that case, maybe it is this. Actually, Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. No, the whip he uses on Phoenix at Edgeworth's place. Oh, yeah. Can you read the description of the lost item report again? Yep, can only be submitted to Chief of Police. I thought that might be it, but I also thought that because it was on his desk and not submitted to him, then, like, it might not have counted. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police.
Yet you were in possession of the report. Which means you are the Chief of Police.
Which means you can't be sure if he filed it. Exactly, that's kind of my point there. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes. to transfer the evidence out.
Oh,
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him?
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Yeah. Yeah, there. Oh, nice. Excellent. You go, girl. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, girl. We're all girls here. Just a clam jam. Jesus Christ. All right.
Hold on, let me guess what you're gonna say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman.
Oh, he admits to it. That is admissible in court. He said the thing. Exactly.
But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes, now that you mention it, we might have done the...
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman,
It would have been found on his body.
no! Wow, he powered up for that one.
No! Chief Gant, you didn't...
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind. For no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. Have you ever checked what percentage of your audience is male and female? I'm pretty sure it's mostly dudes, but like there's like 10 to 15% girls. So hey, you know, as much as I'd love to be attracting women left and right, well, we're all here, dudes. Not ladies and gentlemen, more just gentlemen, really. Gentlemen, it's an honor to be performing for you, I guess. No one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You are forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. Inside my car, no less. And I will be billing you for the cleaning. How did he manage to move it there? How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know?
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. 10% women, that's actually lots. Its other channels have like 2%. Maybe it's my, alluring voice and amazing looks, all 2 inches of my forehead. It's not even 2 inches, it's more like, maybe like half a finger of forehead. I do not have much. Most of my head is hair. To prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was just a useless clue just taking up space.
How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. There's no fucking way, right? There's no fucking way it was this, right? There's no way. No, I refuse to believe that. No goddamn way. I mean, this doesn't make sense either. There's no way, right? There's no way. You know what? Just... Imagine if you were to turn the side, top of your hair would stand 15 feet. Yeah, the sight of me fully standing, like, with my profile view, that would kill most people. Like, I would just turn and, like, buildings would get swathed in the wake of my pompadour. There's no way it could be this, right? No possible way it could be this. Not this. These two will probably come up later. This is the only thing I can think of. Well, I see. Okay, in case that fucked up, just gonna do a real quick save here just to make sure I actually don't lose all of my progress in this fucking trial. I see. Maybe I'll use this later. To move your dead body, Mr. Wright. Huh? Okay, so yeah, that was... yeah. You can't say it at the PD and honestly at the prosecutor's office. There's only one possible way he could have moved the body. The problem is, how did he get him to do it? Get him? Huh? Maybe that piece of evidence really did have something to do with this case. No, I'm at a loss here. I have no idea. Unless... that couldn't have been Mike Meekins, right? No way. Unless... well, it wouldn't be Edgeworth, right? No, wait, but then... no, he had Edgeworth get this. So that way... that's why Edgeworth was there. We already covered that. So if he had Edgeworth... oh my god. This is how we moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? Well, what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... yep, he figured it out. I was asked to go. My chief got no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. And that's... yep, well, that's why he was in the car. Alright. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean I... The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. That is a big... this case is fucking awesome. If it was the Badger, I would have blown a fuse, honestly. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lena Skye. Order! 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 What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Rido, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. How would they even use the badger to transport the body? Like hide the body in the box and you see... I'm not saying it made sense in my head. I'm saying, like, he brought up a useless piece of evidence, and that was the first thing I thought of. Like, there's no way it's the badger, right? I don't remember the badger being used. I'm sure it was used at some point. Like, okay, it was probably used in the video part of the trial. But yeah, I just thought that was the first thing I went to when I was like, I thought it was just a useless piece of evidence. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying specifically it does not make sense, and that's why I would have been outraged. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? It is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? Now he said it the second time. It is admissible in court. Court record lady, please read that back. He said he'll stab Detective Goodman. There it is. What if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Holy shit, I pressed A way too fast there. Oh my god, I almost immediately fucked that up. Without a shadow of a doubt, though. Huh. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. What do I have? Like, this is probably proof that he tried to blackmail Lana. We don't have concrete proof, but we do have concrete. That is true. We got plenty of concrete. Anything that would prove it. Maybe there's a secret in this? Air died and the last thing he saw was the attorney's badge. Yeah, my little robot heart almost stopped there. Hmm. Proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. Do I have anything? I don't have nothing if I ain't got you. Some people just want diamond rings, and some just want everything. But I ain't got nothing if I ain't got evidence. Shadow of a doubt. Did he... Shit. I know it wasn't with this knife. I was just trying to... He didn't happen to write Gant's name on his shoe in blood, did he? Try the screwdriver? I already did that for the last thing, though. I'm not entirely sure how this would prove that he killed the guy, you know? AI-16 is written on the tag. That means it has nothing to do with the current case. We just did the screwdriver, though, so... Actually... Maybe this? What exactly is this evidence? It's proof. As to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt, I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Yep, I fucked up. I'm gonna be late for lunch. Uh-huh. Yes, present evidence. Always keep the pressure on. That's all I've learned from this game. Always keep the pressure on. Even when it seems like it's a terrible idea. Alright. Shadow of a doubt, shadow of a doubt, shadow of a doubt. Also, it's 1712. The day of the murder. No, fuck, I didn't mean to press that button. Ah, load. Load. Yes. Present evidence. None of you saw that. Didn't happen. None of you saw any part of what just occurred. Okay. So it's not this. It is also not the other thing. Think of it like this. If nothing I have seems to work as evidence, is it even worth trying and present something? I guess yeah. Maybe keeping up the pressure isn't right here. Not a shadow of a doubt. If this doesn't work, okay. Yeah, no, I'll load the other option then. No proof. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Yoji? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's the tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto? Seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. These games sometimes like to soft lock you. I've noticed that once or twice with some of the other cases, but like... Okay, Aji, I'll leave the rest to you. Fuck! I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Wow! Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. Yep. Miss Windbag. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gann has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions. Who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. She may not be willing to tell the truth. We can't just stop now. She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. It would have to be her, right? Because she wouldn't do it. She's probably still passed out. I guess it has to be Lana. The defendant, Miss Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. Hold on. Hold on. Chief Gann, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. Listen good, Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder, which I feel like we already kind of proved a little bit. This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then, I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. God damn it, we were close. February 25th, 2:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah. Thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That Chief. He's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Now I'm Super Detective. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Huh? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl I used to work with. Man, it has been a while since we've seen Maya. I've spent almost half the entirety of this playthrough just playing this one trial. It's a long trial. Could he mean... Who else would he be talking about, Phoenix? Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks? What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Emma, are you okay? Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah, I really hated that guy. Now I finally know what really happened. Think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
Seems like I did a slight miscalculation from this point onward. You have an hour left. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna save here at the end of the day and just kind of go from there next time, because then I'll just wrap it up.
Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. Forced herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to.
That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. You want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. You see, pal, I work outside the law like that man-bat guy. Like that man-bat guy.
But he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Also, didn't you know Batman is from New Jersey? Batman is from New Jersey. That explains a lot. That explains why he's so tough. Yeah, he barely survived there.
Let's go, right? It's time to end this.
Gumshoe said that we live in a society. Yeah. Joker moment. He's actually the Joker.
It's time to end this. All right.
Now, I'm gonna stop for the day. Trial Ladder 2. But is it a step trial ladder? That will be determined next time on more Ace Attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber android. I'll be back tomorrow with another drawing stream, which hopefully will go much better than the last drawing stream. And I hope to see you all there. Have you seen that edit people made of Gumshoe but in the Joker makeup? That's funny. I haven't seen that. I'll look that up. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Goodbye for now.